PB. Delicious, life-giving peanut butter. It's perfect in nearly every way, but there are some snacks who would seek to destroy its good name by adding it to inferior products. Today we try 3 peanut butter snacks and see which one can make it shine like the bright star it is. PB. You tried that? You Tried Dat, peanut butter episode. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey there.
And joining us from the podcast Finding Favorites is Leah Jones. Leah, how are you?
I'm doing good tonight. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And, sometimes we do it at the end, but let's just right off the bat, because I think your podcast has a really cool premise. Why don't you explain to everyone who's listening sort of what the deal is with Finding Favorites and maybe like why you started it?
Yeah, Finding Favorites is my COVID hobby because I am not interested in sourdough bread.
What about focaccia? You could make focaccia. I've done that a few times.
I mean, I could. Yes, I am able, but no.
Okay.
I needed a COVID hobby. So Finding Favorites, the concept, it is the podcast where I interview people about their favorite things, how they found it, and it's about getting recommendations without an algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
People all the time, we get asked about our job, like we get interviewed about our work and our work history, but we all have hobbies or something we love that we never get to just talk about for an hour with someone. And so I talk to people about the things they're obsessed with that they love, and it's really been a blast.
Is there one that sticks out? I was kind of wondering, because I just liked as much as listening to like scrolling through the topics to see what people love. It's interesting to see what people like. Yeah. Is there any one that like sticks out and that you thought, wow, this is actually much more in depth or much cooler than I thought it was? The world's much bigger.
There are a lot of them where I'm like, how did you even stumble on it as an interest?
Mm-hmm.
And the two that come to mind, one was on European, swords and stuff, but it was like, but talking about swords as like European martial arts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And not
so like
just
specifically European swords, not like katanas or anything like that.
Specifically
or like
European swords.
Like a Portuguese sword of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And how you train with that, and how there's some. So his name's Sean, and he's in LA, and he's got a group of people that like they all gear up in all sorts of like hockey pads and chainmail, and they go and hit each other with swords, and they have tournaments, and it's super intense. And they'll find there are books that have survived that were essentially catalogs, like the Sears and Roebuck catalog of medieval sword fighting.
Right.
And people, you might buy a lesson from that catalog as a knight.
And he, just to be clear, he doesn't work at the LA Medieval Times, or does he?
He does not.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure.
So that was one where it was just really surprising. And then another one was on K-pop Dollstagram, which were like the little plushy dolls that represent different K-pop singers.
Sure.
So like Korean pop songs,
Right.
pop singers. And there's this whole Instagram fan community where people use these plush dolls as avatars. And
right.
So K-pop Dollstagram, that hashtag is like the most joyful, sweet hashtag on Instagram to follow.
Still,
wow.
It may be, but in your descriptions, I was still much more terrified of that than the swords.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. It's super intense. Like the K-pop fan community is one to enter with more protective armor than the sword, the sword stuff. Yeah.
How much of your soul died each time you had to say Dalstagram?
It is a hard one to say. And I do add the K-pop to it. When you go searching, when you just do Dalstagram, it becomes a little less 100% joyful.
Yeah, it's a lot of like G.I. Joe figures and jerk-off poses and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Hashtag real Dalstagram.
Now what? I don't know. Maybe I don't know if any guest ever asked you, but if you had to be on someone else's Finding Favorites copy podcast, what would you go on there with?
Finding other favorites.
Finding other favorites. Finding
discovering
new hobbies.
desires. Something like that.
Friends kind of had me on their podcast to talk about my number one Hollywood crush, Jason Mantzoukas.
Zooks.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can...
A good crush.
We share that one.
He's a good, solid crush. So I have truly done a whole episode of a podcast just talking about Jason Mantzoukas. Which the more I talk about that, the more I realize I'm edging into creepy fan and not endearing. I want to be endearing, but I worry across the line.
We're all huge Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved him on Good Place. Just don't start a Zooks Dalstagram hashtag, and I think it'll be okay.
Zookstagram.
A Zookstagram. Yeah, so it would probably be that, or I converted to Judaism in my 20s. And so I can go pretty deep on like liberal progressive Judaism and be pretty pedantic about the different streams of Judaism. So I don't know that that's a favorite, but as far as like a real strong dorkdom that people are like, enough already. You didn't go to seminary, so we're good.
Yeah. But speaking of podcasts, I wanted to ask you where you got the nerve, because you are starting a new podcast about candy, right?
Yes.
Called Candy Chat.
Oh,
Candy Chat.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's I just want to know like where you get off doing that, knowing that our podcast exists. We talk about candy all the time. Just seems very rude to me. So how do you respond to these allegations?
I respond to these allegations honestly and with truth in my heart. I think that's the same thing. I had an episode of Finding Favorites recently where one of my friends came on. She had come on originally about Avett Brothers. And then I hadn't recorded a podcast. It was 9 p.m. on Sunday. And I was like, dude, my podcast comes out on Sunday. It is 9 p.m. Will you please just come and talk to me about something? I'm desperate. And she was like, I could talk about blah, 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 all these different things. And she said candy. And I was like, fine, we'll talk about candy. We talked about candy for an hour. I got more positive feedback on that episode than on the other 70 combined. So I was like, you know what, Jocelyn, let's just we'll start a podcast. We'll call it Candy Chat, and we will just talk about candy. And that's what we're doing. I also said there's this other podcast called You Tried Dat, and these guys are great, and I want to crush them. And I just made it my personal goal to crush you guys.
Oh, perfect.
And I begged Chad to let me on this podcast. I was so sweet. I was like, no, I just have Finding Favorites, and I talk to you about their hobbies.
Yeah, you really fooled me.
That's why you've been taking notes on everything that's happening.
Right.
Well,
the one guy doesn't know how to use his mic, so we got an advantage there.
Unfortunately for you, I have right here constructed a European sword out of Reese's Cups.
Uh-oh.
So you are in trouble.
I can only get you back with this bundle of Canadian candy that I was sent by my last guest.
The joke's on you. I just converted to Judaism, so we are going to do our own Judaism conversion podcast.
I've constructed a
We're gonna
K-pop Instagram, and I'm just going to roast you with it the whole.
Joke's on you. I've been stalking Jason Mantzoukas for longer than you have. So.
All right.
All right, let's get into it. Let's. Now you mentioned this is something we've never talked about on here. Even with that, we've had many female guests, and none of them have brought it up. So I'm interested to hear about this. You say that you have an issue with purse snacks, and just get into that because at first I'd re-ask you what you said. So I don't know if that's an existing
did you coin
term.
the phrase?
I coined the
snack?
term. I coined the phrase. So purse snacks, I'm not a mom, so I'm not someone who always has like goldfish or Cheerios in my purse for kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been known to, like if we're leaving a bar and we ordered nachos and we didn't finish the nachos, I will put them in my purse. I'll wrap them. Right. I don't just dump
Shovel them in.
raw nachos.
Just crunching them into your pockets.
So one time, so it's been a few times in particular where people are drunk, people are high, and somehow I have like a ridiculous purse snack. So one time it was truly, I pulled out a giant styrofoam container of purse nachos at a bar that didn't have food, and everybody just like dove into it, and the bartenders were fine because they didn't serve food. Recently, I met up with someone I know from the Doughboys fan community at a diner, and I was like, "Oh, do you want this apple cobbler that I happen to have in my purse?"
What?
How big
Why
is
did
your
you have an
purse?
apple cobbler in your purse?
It's
Like,
a
did you-
normal purse.
Did you leave the house like you're like, okay, I'm gonna bring this just in case, or you picked it up on the way, or it was from 3 weeks ago and you hadn't?
I was coming from a very fancy steak dinner, and I didn't finish my
That
dessert,
served
and I took
nachos?
it with
Oh,
me.
the other one. I was like, what?
I went out for a porterhouse and some nachos. It's weird that I couldn't finish the nachos. But I think my best purse snack ever was I was at a work event in Orlando, and the food was not plentiful. There was just like not enough food. There were
Yeah,
little
that's the worst.
flatbread pizzas. The bar was very well stocked, and we were all drunk and underfed, and we were across the street from a Popeyes. So
Mhm.
I'm an independent business lady. So I crossed a highway and bought like a dozen Popeyes biscuits, and I filled my purse with biscuits, and then I just started walking around the party. I was like, "Do you want a biscuit? Do you want a biscuit?" Just passing out warm Popeyes biscuits from my purse, and I was
How did
I was
you
hailed a
ask them?
hero.
Did you like whisper that in their ear,
Yeah.
or how? Okay.
Yeah, you get close. People could, I mean, Popeyes, you can smell a purse
Yeah.
full of Popeyes biscuits.
Yeah.
You must seem like a magician or something, just like whipping this big plate of nachos out of
Right.
your purse.
We all have to have special talents.
The next morning, you pulled
Uh,
your keys out and they're just covered in butter and like crumbs and shit.
Right. Like, and then you can't do that with like drumsticks. You can't walk around a fancy bar giving people chicken.
Why?
I mean, you
No,
could.
no.
you could.
Yeah.
I feel
Turkey, yes. Chicken,
turkey legs,
definitely
yes.
not. Yeah. Gotta draw the line
Um,
somewhere.
Yeah, I did. The waiters were definitely looking around that time because they're like, we're not serving biscuits, but like a lot of people have biscuits with their like margaritas and tropical cocktails, and they're like looking at the buffet and they're looking at people, but it's just one biscuit, so of course people are eating it quickly.
Let's get
So
the bartender. Do you serve
Shove this
biscuits
down your
here?
throat.
I think we do.
That guy over
So,
there
yeah,
has a
that's-
dish of red beans and rice somehow. Where are we? This is very confusing.
It's very confusing. So it's just one of those things like as someone who carries a purse, it's nice to roll up sometimes with warm biscuits or nachos at a bar.
No, but do you always have like just a cavernous purse with you? Because I asked because my wife is also very big on having snacks. Now, she doesn't go to that extent. It's usually like she makes sure she has some granola bars or some, ginger chews or something like that. Like she always wants something. But a lot of times she'll have like tiny purses that you couldn't even fit like maybe 3 nachos total in if you tried.
Right. Look, if they were like perfect nachos, it might be enough.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty it's been a long time since I carried a purse that did not fit a computer.
Right. So these
a
are
desktop
backpacks.
computer.
Yes, I like to be able to put a gaming tower in my purse.
I bring Deep Blue with me wherever I go.
Yeah.
It's the size of a refrigerator.
Is that not normal?
Is your purse just one of those like warmers from Domino's that they bring the pizzas in?
You just roll into a bar. You're like, who wants some nachos, and get owned in chess by this computer.
I think your goal should be for people. You're handing out snacks, but they have to clarify something. Like you say chicken wing, and they say traditional boneless, and you go, which one do you want? What flavor? And so you should have different options for people. That should be the next goal.
Yeah. What I should try and do is become a TikTok influencer. So I used to work in brand marketing. So I know how it works, but I also know that I am not an influencer any brand is interested in yet. But if a Popeyes wanted to offer me a purse that had compartments in it for different types of sauce chicken, Domino's has like wings that are different sauces now. And I could have like compartments in it. And then like, the candy machines that you turn the dial and like a handful of like M&Ms comes out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If I could have a dial and like a drumstick would come out or like wings, it would be so disgusting and you couldn't clean it. But I would, dear Domino's and or Popeyes, I would like that purse, please. The chicken dispensing purse.
I think you could go viral when, sometime in the future when it's a little safer to just go up to all kinds of random strangers and just film yourself like going up to people and just offering them like food that you've pulled out of your purse.
Yeah.
Film their reactions and stuff.
Or sitting on a train in the rancid heat with a bag full of meat and watch no one sitting near you. It'll be fun. Ranch dressing oozing out the side of your purse zippers.
Yeah, these are all great ideas.
Just a big purse. You're stirring something with a big spoon.
Like
right.
Beef stew or something. Just, would you like some?
This is my clam chowder purse.
I have a suitcase full of gravy when I go on trips. Would you like some?
All right, let's get into eating some snacks.
All right.
We're going to rate these snacks on a 5-point scale. I love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Let's start with the Quaker Chewy Granola Bar, because that's kind of, I feel like maybe the most popular or common of these. So we've all probably had a Quaker granola bar at some point. This particular one is the Chewy Dips. It's peanut butter and the entire thing dipped in chocolate. Do you guys like Quaker granola bars? The brand?
I honestly can't remember the last time I had one. Probably since I was a kid. But I kind of got excited when I saw these because they sort of resemble like Kudos bars, which I loved when I was a kid. I loved the peanut butter Kudos. And so I was hoping for something similar.
Were you hoping for something good?
I was. And yeah, spoiler alert, this is not similar. Leah, you wanted to do peanut butter stuff, right?
I wanted to do peanut butter, yes.
You love peanut butter?
I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter snacks. I was really, you pick 3 snacks I have never had. One of the snacks, maybe I've had the homemade version.
Yeah.
This I've never had and will never have again.
Spoiler alert.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I may. Maybe I love it. Maybe I love how it tastes like dust. Do you guys think it tastes dusty?
Leah, do you want to start your
little
rating?
bit.
If you're going to start a food podcast, you're going to run into a lot worse shit than this.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys, this doesn't taste quite exquisite enough. Now, excuse me, I have a bunch of nachos cooling in my purse. I need to go eat.
I feel like the ultimate end game here is you walk into a bar, you pull out just an entire like cow carcass, and then just start carving steaks for people with a European sword. Like I feel like that's where we.
I got to get a butcher on next. I do follow a butcher on TikTok. Maybe I'll get him on to talk about butchering, and then I'll do some matchmaking.
There you go. I know. I think. Look, as a male, if you said there's a woman in there handing out wings and cobbler out of her purse, I'm gonna go approach her. All right, Guy, show us how it's done.
Here's how it's done. First of all, I'm a little stunned at the over-the-top reaction to this very innocuous granola bar.
Yeah, me too.
I've had a bunch of these, not this specific one, but my kids have these granola bars pretty much in their lunch every day at school. So I've eaten a number of them when I'm like, for lack of a better option, I grab one. Usually it's just a regular chocolate chip granola bar, but they're fine. I agree that the granola isn't like good. It doesn't like taste like much. It's just kind of filler. But it's got chocolate on top and peanut butter in there. I wish there was more peanut butter, or the peanut butter was like stronger flavor. But as it is, I mean, it's like some basic oats covered in chocolate. There's a floor to how bad it can really be. So I'll give this a pretty much like I called it innocuous early on. I think that's about the best word I could use for it. So it's a straight up indifferent to that for me. These are fine.
All right, Leah, you're gonna go next. What do you think?
I mean, I won't buy them again.
They are a sponsor, so you might want to do so. No.
I used to do brand marketing. It took me years to eat all the Quaker products I bought when we pitched the Quaker business. I ate so much oatmeal to try and win that business and then did not win the business. But I still love oatmeal. I eat it almost every day.
Did they know you were eating it? Was that part of it? Like, I ate 71 boxes of oatmeal. Please have our business. Like, how does that help?
Right. I got too familiar with Larry, who is the Quaker guy. That's his name.
Oh.
His name is Larry.
The mascot?
Really? Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was that a popular name back in revolutionary times?
I don't know when he got named Larry or if Larry was just headcanon of the people that worked at Quaker, but they were very familiar with him. So I think it's a low quality chocolate. I think it is a dusty peanut butter feeling. So I would rather have all of these ingredients in a hot bowl of oatmeal than in a granola bar or in a oat bar. But it is protein. I totally get that it'll get you. It would probably, if I was hangry, I would be really upset this wasn't a Snickers bar.
Yeah,
but it would probably improve my mood. So what was it, 2?
That was
dislike
a dislike that.
I dislike that.
All right.
Okay.
Indifferent dislike, Chad. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Leah said. I wish there was more peanut butter here. Like, you barely taste any peanut butter for something that claims it's a peanut butter snack. It is dusty, which is strange. The granola is not good. The chocolate is not good either. Like, it's not very good chocolate. There's no reason to eat this. It's basically a candy bar. So just eat a fucking candy bar. You know what I mean? Like, go get a Snickers, go get like a Reese's stick or something. Like, there's a million better executions of this kind of thing. So yeah, this is a pretty clear dislike that for me. It's disappointing.
You guys know what I'm going to say. This is definitely the type of thing I like. This is, I've had a lot of the Quaker ones too. This is better than the regular Quaker bar. It's better than the regular one covered in chocolate. It's chocolate and peanut butter. I don't know how it's described as dusty. This is not what I would describe it as.
What about musty?
Yeah.
Musty, yeah, I'll give you musty, yeah. Now, Dusty Butter is my favorite K-pop star, but I think this is pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's just fine. Like if I was a kid, I opened up and this was in my lunchbox, I'd be happy, right? Because I wouldn't have to sit by any of the peanut kids, right, who can't handle peanut butter. And I'd have a tasty snack.
That is dark. Oh, this is good because it gets me away from the kids with allergies.
That's right.
That improves the rating.
The strong will survive, right? No, yeah. So I'm going to give it a low level like that. I think it's fine. Let's go next to the Skippy PB Bites pretzel variety. I was actually excited when you sent the picture of what we're getting, but then when I saw it was pretzel, I was less excited.
Wait, is it pretzel?
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, I bought double peanut butter bites.
Oh,
That's okay.
I wish I had those.
Yours are probably going to be way better.
Yeah.
They look the boxes look exactly the same. The packages look exactly the same.
That's okay.
Oh,
they do. Now, Leah, what is your favorite like candy? Is it like a Reese's or something else with peanut butter or what?
I mean, my favorite peanut butter candy is
Yes,
the circle one.
the Reese's cup.
Are you trying to say Reese's Cup?
The circle one?
Oh my gosh. Chad's
What in
gonna
the fuck?
punch you down with the European sword. He talks about Reese's every episode.
You're starting a fucking podcast called Candy Chat. You don't know what the name of a fucking Reese's cup is? This is bullshit. Jesus Christ. Come on, Leah. Amateur hour here.
I'm so distracted by the Skippy Peanut Butter Bites. It's so peanut buttery that I cannot remember the name. So if it's
Been there.
Didn't save
Been
it.
there.
didn't save it. I love a Snickers bar, which is not
Nice.
peanut butter, but is peanuts.
Yeah.
I love peanut M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
The peanut butter M&Ms hit or miss, but like
Wow.
a peanut M&M, love it.
Nope.
And I love to do a mix of like hot tamales and Mike and Ike's.
We had like a 26 flavor M&M tournament a couple years back. And
Wow.
Peanut butter won.
Peanut butter won.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So good. Spoiler alert, there's a lot of dog shit M&Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we copyrighted it, so you can't do it on your podcast. Sorry.
Oh, I won't. I won't copy your M&M brackets.
Yeah.
I'm about to eat this whole container.
You're gonna be like, all right, we're doing a 26 flavor tournament, and it's like hard round candies. I can't remember the name of it, but we're doing a whole tournament of it.
Q and Q's, I think they're called.
Leah, you start. Tell us what you think of these.
All right, so I did buy the wrong product, and my apologies for that. These are like, I ate so many while we were just talking, which is part of why I forgot the name of a Reese's cup. I wish I had the pretzel ones because I do love a pretzel with peanut butter on the inside.
Yeah.
So I imagine peanut butter with pretzel on the inside is also delicious. Again, it's not like a super high quality peanut butter because to keep them separated, if it was really good peanut butter, they would just become peanut butter again.
Yours is like soft the whole way through,
yeah, which is beige all the way through.
Yeah.
So I keep eating them. I'm so sorry. I think this could become a good emergency hangry protein situation. Because sometimes you don't want to get a knife dirty. Right?
Yeah, or a spoon.
or a spoon.
Shovel if you're me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
First snack.
I'm so excited for product number 3 that I don't want to give this a 5 because I think I have very high expectations.
You can have 2 5s. It's fine.
But do I really think they're 5? I think it's what's a 4 and what's a 5?
Like and love. What does it? Does how you feel about them? Would you describe it as liking them or loving them?
Like I would swipe right on them and go on a first date with them. I would keep them in my purse.
Is that what you do on first dates? At least they're going to be fed in there, I guess. There's chicken and shit. But.
Yeah, we have talked about it's a big purse.
Right.
It's a big purse, right? And is that why I don't go on second dates? Is that weird? Is that what's happening?
Why does your van have purse written on the side? What? All right, Chad.
I wanted to like these. I did. And I don't know if I would like the pure peanut butter ones any more than I do, because I feel like with just the peanut butter, there's kind of no texture there, no like differentiation. It would probably be too soft. So I do like that there is a crunch with the pretzel, but the flavors themselves just aren't that great to me. Like, I don't really get a lot of peanut butter. It tastes super artificial in a weird way to me. They are like a little addictive. Like, I just found, it's a good size. It's a good form factor. It does have a good mouthfeel. I just wish they tasted a little bit better. And so for that reason, I think I'm just going to go middle of the road, indifferent to that for 'em.
I think these, they're tough to rate. The pretzel doesn't taste that salty, and I think that helps it a bit. Because it reminds me of, I don't know why, but this is like a memory of elementary school was, and they would never do this obviously anymore, but when you come in from recess when we were little, they always gave us saltines with peanut butter on them. And this for some reason reminds me of that, because the pretzel just has a crunch to it and a little bit of salt. I'm liking them less the more I eat of them. And I think I'm going to end up where Chad did and have a second.
They do start to burn.
Should I be?
Are your tongues burning? Are your tongues burning a little bit?
Oh, you're eating a jalapeno. I should have told you
that. Did you do a Skippy Peanut Bites and hot tamale mix? Is that way?
Yes, that was it. It was the sriracha that I covered them in.
I'm gonna do a second and different. Geiger.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add. I think the peanut butter tastes decent to me. I like Skippy Peanut Butter. It's the peanut butter we usually have in the house. And I like peanut butter a lot. The pretzel does nothing to me. The pretzel is just like, and Novak, you describing it as saltine is accurate to me, but it's not in a good way. It's just dry. It's just like a dry chunk in the middle of some peanut butter. So it doesn't really do much for me. I think if the pretzel was better or saltier or had its own flavor to me, I would have liked it a little more. As it is, I think it's probably just an indifferent to that. Like I said, they are kind of addictive. The peanut butter's decent. I agree with Chad. I don't know if I could eat a whole solid ball of that peanut butter. I think that'd be a little too much. But as it is, it's fine. It's indifferent.
Okay, it's still enough to be in the lead for now, and we'll see if the Muddy Buddies can beat them later on. So, Geiger, time for the segment.
Segment time. All right, so we're going to do a segment we've done before. It doesn't really have a title. I'll work on that next time. But for now, it's we're going to do, I've got 8 questions involving chocolate and or peanut butter. You're each going to give me your answer, and whoever is closest is going to win that question. And then we're going to flip over to a BuzzFeed quiz, and whichever question you won, you get to pick the answer for that particular one, and we'll find out what our result is.
All right.
Very simple and straightforward.
But we're not buzzing in.
Yeah, no, you're all going to answer.
Guess.
Yeah.
All right.
So these are all questions that like someone is going to be closest to. It's not like a multiple choice or yes or no.
All right.
All righty. Starting off, in billions, what were the global net sales for Hershey's in 2020?
Global. Oh my gosh.
Come on, you read.
The thing when I need other people to say numbers so that I don't sound dumb.
I wonder if it was up because of COVID. So I'll go
I didn't
first.
look up
That's
previous
fine.
years, so I don't know.
Yeah, you asshole. All right, so I'll say 20 billion.
Okay.
Why not?
That's definitely a number.
You certainly picked something.
Oh, that seems like low, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe that seems really high.
Because it's an international. I mean, it's international sales, right? Global sales.
It's whatever I Googled. So. Didn't exactly read Crane's Monthly for 2 years to get this answer out of here.
Actually, I feel like that's high now that I'm saying it. And I'm going to feel like a moron after that. But I'm just going to say 5 billion.
Okay.
Ooh. So one of us will be closest.
Yep.
Theoretically.
I'm gonna go 13.7 billion.
All right. Novak, you're actually closest. It was 8.15 billion.
Oh.
So not Leah, you weren't too close, too far off either. Chad, you were a bit above.
Very far.
Yeah.
Very far.
So Novak wins number 1. Oh man, number 1. Okay. Okay. So in 2015, a Redditor took various Reese's. What's those circle things? The, peanut butter cups.
Reese's
right.
Pieces. Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Monkeys. No, a Redditor took some of the off-brand Reese's cup products, so not the regular cup itself, but others around like it, to try to figure out what had the best ratio of peanut butter to chocolate. Okay. So I need you folks to tell me what percentage of a king size peanut butter cup is peanut butter.
Of a king size peanut butter cup?
Yes.
Like a big cup?
Yeah, like the king size that when you see the Reese's cups in the aisle, the king size.
So clarifying question, percentage of the entire cup, or if you do a cross section, what percentage of the cross section?
I believe they didn't specify the scientific method. I think it is of a single cup, but I don't know how we got to that number.
Chad, if you get this wrong, I'm going to be wholly disappointed.
It isn't I'll say this, it isn't the number one of all these. The heart was. If that helps.
For most peanut butter.
Yes.
Wait, we're telling you percentage numbers.
Percentage.
Oh, okay, then
butter.
it is. Yeah, then they are talking about of the entire candy.
Yeah.
Not just of the cross section.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to say, I'm just going to say like a round number, 60-40 chocolate.
60, okay.
60% chocolate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 40% peanut butter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Leah?
Oh, I'm going to go, it's like 75% peanut butter.
Okay. Jen?
Yeah, it's definitely more peanut butter than chocolate. But
I don't think it's the whole outer part is all chocolate. That was my
but it's a thin layer. But there is the ridges accounts for much.
The sides.
That's why I think 75% is a little too high. I am going to go actually 60-40 the other way, 60% peanut butter.
Chad, you are closest. It is 53.96.
Wow.
So Chad retains his Reese's reputation.
It's nearly 50-50.
Yeah.
King Reese is checking in.
The heart, like I said, was the highest. It was 60.34%. All right. Hershey's famously created some candy for the military during World War II. They had a bar known as the Trop. What's that?
Famous thing? I didn't know that.
Definitely. I had heard about it before, but no, maybe just with me. One was known as
Patriots know.
Only one who respects what this country means.
Didn't even know Larry's name.
Larry, the original patriot. All right. So one was known as the Tropical Chocolate Bar, and it could withstand a certain degree heat for up to an hour without melting. That was one of the key requirements that they had for Hershey's to make it, because they were going to be going in certain warm areas like wherever, Vietnam or whatnot. I just realized I didn't need to name an area.
World War II?
World War II?
Warm areas?
World War II is the original. They created Ration D for World War II. And then they created this later on. I don't know when in the timeline. So
Go
Nice.
into warm areas like, I don't know, surface of the sun, I don't know, somewhere.
Next war after this will probably be in Vietnam. Get ready.
So what you have to give me what degree temperature this can withstand for up to an hour without melting.
Leah, I think you're up first here.
I'm going to say this is something Hershey made for once we went into the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to go 115 Fahrenheit.
Wow, that's a hell of a chocolate bar.
Like a chocolate bar that you could take into a tank.
Right.
Tanks don't have air conditioning, do they?
Mhm.
That was a
Oh.
dumb question.
Maybe not some countries, but the USA tanks got it.
Novak, your tank. What do you think?
That seems exceptionally hot. 115.
Mhm.
Look, if you are a tank operator,
Mm-hmm.
you fucked. You can't have chocolate. There's just
Maybe a bag of nachos here and there. But
that was the original. Those guys know their purse snacks. They carry all kinds of
duffel
Nachos,
bag full of
right.
baby rack
Mhm.
ribs.
I'm gonna say it's gotta be way lower for an hour. Like 80.
Okay.
Would a regular Hershey's bar melt at 80 in an hour? That seems...
Well, I don't know
Low to
what's
me.
melt. Like, how far does it have to melt? Like, completely to liquid, or just where you can't eat it anymore?
has to evaporate.
Okay, Hershey's, you got to make something that's not going to be a boiling cauldron of chocolate in a cup. That's the only rule we got.
I agree 115 is too high, but I think 80 is way too low. I'm going to go right in at an even 100.
Leah, you win this. It was 120, actually.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice. Well done.
Wow, Hershey's.
It must have tasted terrible.
Getting
Yeah.
it done
Oh, yeah.
since the 1940, whatever the fuck.
Well, the ration D that they created originally was supposed to be chocolate based too, and they had rules like it couldn't melt. There was one other one, I don't remember what it was. Oh, I had to weigh a certain ounce or something to fit in their bag. But the third rule was it had to taste not that good, so they wouldn't eat them all right away. Like they were worried all the troops would just eat all this candy and stuff their face, so it had to taste bad. I don't know why you would
So
want it then. But
D stands for disgusting in ration D.
There's no way they ate them all because they shipped them all to Vietnam during World War II. And there were no troops there.
I didn't say. Okay, that one was for World War II. All right. How many peanuts, on average, does it take to make a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter? It's more than 2.
Uh-huh.
That's the only hint I'm getting you.
Who's up here?
More
Anyone wants to go?
Me?
Ken?
All right.
two.
I'll go. So I'm going to say 150.
What was that? 150? 150?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Leah?
So this is shelled or unshelled?
They're making peanut butter, so
Uh-huh.
I don't know if
I
you've
hope it
eaten
doesn't
peanut
have the
butter
shells in
before.
it anymore.
No, but did they do the
You know,
count?
chunky
It
peanut
takes-
butter does include peanut shells in it, right?
So, but if you're counting,
Uh-huh.
some peanuts are doubles, right? Some are singles. So is this like a count of I'm
The
driving
total
you?
peanuts.
You're like so happy you never have to talk to me again.
No,
The
like-
look on your face.
I'm just confused. It's like how many individual
scowl.
peanuts?
Okay.
I didn't think this was
I
a
think
tricky.
Shelled.
I know what you're
think
saying
they mean
now, yeah.
Shelled. I think
I-
they mean shelled. The little, the little,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. The
But,
individual nuggets of peanut, not the shell compartments. I was like, why?
But-
What is confusing
okay.
about this?
But I mean, some peanuts are like 25 grams, some are 30 grams. So I mean,
Mhm.
it could be like really anything.
I mean, what is a peanut really, truly, anyway?
So you went 150.
Yeah.
I don't know. 275.
Okay.
All right. I think it's somewhere in between
Wrong. No, I don't.
that. I'm going to say 201.
Leah, after all that
Probably
hemming and hawing, you won, but I wouldn't say you were close. It was 540. So
Wow.
a lot of peanuts in there, guys.
That's a lot of peanuts.
Yep.
Wait, is the inside of this? Well, actually, I didn't get pretzel either. I got shells on the inside of my.
That might be why you didn't love it. Could also explain a spicy tongue situation.
That's true.
Now, how many jars of peanut butter could they make out of the Peanuts characters? So, like Charlie Brown's guts and stuff into one jar of peanut butter.
What?
That is dark.
Who knows? Now
I thought you were going to talk about Mr. Peanut.
we have
you win.
before.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Chad. It's funny you should bring up the Peanuts characters because that's the subject of our next question.
Ooh.
So
I've known you for too long.
there's no Alf question, I promise.
Okay.
According to the not at all made up website Hollywood.com, surprised that domain was available. Where does Charlie Brown rank in the top 10 Peanuts characters?
In the top 10
What?
Peanuts characters?
Yeah,
According to Hollywood.com.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go
So,
first
like, if
here.
Snoopy's the best?
Well, I'm just
presumably.
we don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, he should be one.
Charlie Brown?
He's the top character. Yeah, I mean,
It's a sad sack
he's
piece
the
of
only
shit.
one. He's the only one in there who's not like a out and out dick. Like
That's true.
Most of
That's
them,
true.
Yeah, most of them are just trying to make his life hell.
Uh-huh.
But I guarantee whoever made this ranks Snoopy the highest. Everybody likes Snoopy for some reason. So I'm going to put Charlie 2.
That's a real fucking.
I got an axe to grind against Snoopy.
He deserves number 1.
Yes, but I put him 2.
Okay.
So he's either number 1 or he's very low, I think. Because, like, I feel like while his shirt and stuff is iconic, I think there are a lot more characters that people picture in their mind, right? Like, you picture Linus with his blanket, Snoopy, as we mentioned, even, like, Peppermint Patty, right? Or, like, Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
people picture Lucy ahead of Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Come on, the doctor is in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
She's iconic.
Yeah.
Picture
Patty.
Charlie Brown's iconic shirt. That's what everyone's always thinking about.
Anytime
shirt.
you see a zigzag shirt, you're like, that's a Charlie Brown shirt. Like,
When do you see that? Who's wearing
I used
that
to
shirt?
own one. Except it was like black and silver instead of yellow and black. All right. So I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
What do you think,
Yep.
Leah? Are you going to go number 1 or what?
No, because Snoopy's clearly number 1. I think Snoopy's 1, Woodstock's 2.
Put Woodstock 2. Where do you put Red Baron?
So here's right again, my clarifying questions that you guys don't love. But
Yeah.
like I think
No
there
shells.
are at least 3 Snoopy, like Snoopy, Joe Cool, and Red Baron, I think would all come before
Okay, there
Charlie
is-
Brown in a top 10.
Okay. I'm not telling you where Snoopy was. All I'm saying is that he was one character in the list. He
Okay.
was a
That's
single
helpful.
entity. Yeah.
Joe
It's
Cool
helpful.
beats out Charlie Brown.
So I still think Snoopy's number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, 2 and 5 are gone?
2 and
Yeah,
5 are
yeah.
off the board.
Fine. 1
Oh, I hope she wins.
or 10.
No,
I'm going 1.
Chad is going to win as closest. He was actually number 4.
Oh,
Now, strangely enough, now this tells you how shitty this list is. Snoopy is, I think, like down near the bottom, which that part's right. But would anyone have guessed that number 1 would be Schroeder, the dude
I
that
knew you were going to say
plays
Schroeder.
the
I
fucking
almost said
piano with
Schroeder.
Beethoven's bust on it?
how is he the best character?
I don't know. I'm not Hollywood.com.
Just read us the list. Let's do it. Spit it off quick.
I have to quick look it up. So you're just gonna talk about
Alright,
your
don't
favorite
bother.
Peanuts
In a
character.
Hollywood.com
we'll do-
survey
Oh, wait, I have it right
of
here.
the
I'm sorry.
Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and they asked which Peanuts character is best. They all pick Schroeder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Schroeder
Right.
sucks.
So the list real quickly. Number 1, Schroeder. Number 2, Linus, that blanket finger sucking bitch.
I knew Linus would be high.
Okay,
He does
That's
give
kinda
all the
angry, I don't know
meaningful
why.
speeches.
that's true. He's a nice guy. Number 3, Peppermint Patty, who I found obnoxious. Number 4, Charlie Brown. Number 5 is Sally. Number 6 is Lucy. 7 was Snoopy. 8 was Franklin. 9 was Marcy, who never really featured that
She had the
prominently.
glasses.
Peppermint Patty's friend,
Peppermint
yeah.
Patty's.
Peppermint Patty's the one
Gambler.
that called her Sir and stuff.
Right.
And then 10 is Woodstock.
No Pigpen. Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
No teacher.
No. Wah, wah, wah.
No Joe
Alrighty.
Cool.
Yeah, no joke.
No Joe Cool or Red Baron.
Did Joe Cool smoke a cigarette? I know I'm not confusing him with Joe Camel, but like when they had Snoopy in a leather jacket, did he also have a cigarette at the time? Because wasn't he kind of like a
imagine
James
they could
Dean-ish
get away
type
with
of
that.
character?
I think he had hay. I think he had like a piece of hay in his mouth.
So he's smoking
Cool
reefer.
Snoop. None of the Google images. It's just him in a sunglasses wearing a sweater that says Joe Cool on it.
Oh yeah.
Which nothing
man.
cooler than announcing your name on your sweater.
Height of cool. All right. We have 2 more questions. This next one comes again from our old friends at Urban Dictionary. So this is going to be the only one that's going to be totally my judgment call here. You're going to have to tell me the definition of a Hershey bear.
Oh no.
What do you think Urban Dictionary
Hershey
thinks
bear.
that is?
So this is an episode I'm going to tell my parents not to listen to, right?
If you've been telling your parents to listen to our podcast, we apologize.
This is the cleanest episodes we've ever recorded up to now. To be fair.
Well, you shouldn't tell them to listen to it because we're gonna crush your competing podcast.
She
Hershey
just
bear.
rolls her eyes. Yeah. Right.
I'm torn between trying to figure out what a Hershey bear is. I'm just terrified.
Yeah.
And a quip. I'm out of quips.
You should just reply with, "Yeah, well, wait till we Hershey bear your podcast." I don't know what that means.
You're
Yeah,
about
so
to.
I think Urban Dictionary probably says Hershey bear is when a new podcast turns an older podcast in. It's like a bear hug of that turns you into Hershey. It's we poop on you. It's when one podcast poops on
Yep.
another.
Yeah.
It's a Hershey bear.
Leah, I
That's
appreciate
what
the
Candy
effort. I'm
Chat's
not even
gonna-
going to bother writing that down because that's.
Is that
Not
wrong?
You're gonna write these down.
No,
there
it's not-
anything-
yeah. Hold on 1 second. You said he was bear hugging me, and then you pooped on me.
Oh.
It's gotta be something with poop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else, but like a bear is also like a term for like a large gay man,
Correct.
right? So it could be in either of those. I think it's probably poop paste.
Mhm.
I think that's going to be taking a shit in the woods like a bear would, but like a human doing it.
Yep. Chad, save us here.
Does a Hershey bear shit in the woods?
I actually, my first inclination was along the lines of what Leah said. I was thinking like sort of like a stink palm thing where you put your hand down the back of your pants and then give somebody a big bear hug or something like that.
Oh,
But
that's worse than the actual thing, I think.
I don't think it's actually that. I think it's when you eat so much chocolate and it's not the like military grade kind, so it melts and it gets like all over your face, and then and so then people think you look like a chocolate bear.
All right. Okay. So my turn to look like an asshole now. The answer is actually, well, first let me decide who wins.
It's when an old podcast.
You know what? Just to even it out, I'll give it to Novak. But and his was at least slightly dirty in that there was shit involved. So it is when two people who love each other very much fall asleep or are about to fall asleep, and right before they do, one the male or one of the males, either way, rolls over and sticks his thing in just inside the butt to hibernate for the night. That's all it is. So, Leah, thanks for coming. You don't have to return. I understand. In my defense, I had built this a couple weeks ago for a different podcast, and then also I looked at it and I'm like, let's see how this one plays. But all right, we have one more question here, and then we will be on to the Buzzfeed. So, according to another website, which I swear I didn't make up, Record Setter, it is not the Guinness Book of World Records, it's a different one. Ole Sprang of Denmark set the record for pushing a candy bar using a banana that was tied to his belt. Okay. 4 feet.
Dictionary again?
No, this isn't dictionary. So he took a banana, he tied it to his belt with a length of string, and swung it back and forth with his hips and hit this candy bar 4 feet. Okay, and he set the record for doing it the fastest.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
So clearly Guinness had all the good records taken up already.
Record Setter's like, fuck it, put it on the site.
I don't know, put maybe a banana in your belt and smack a candy bar around and we'll just...
He called up originals like, how about I eat a Mars bar? Like, that's been done. Can you knock it across the floor with a banana tied to your pants?
With a banana and a candy bar. Those are the
you need to get this fucking banana candy bar guy on finding favorites, because this is something that deserves an hour-long deep dive, I think.
I'm guessing he was the fastest primarily because he was the only one who had ever thought to try. But,
wait, so what are we guessing?
So you're guessing how fast he did it, because that was the actual record, the speed with which he pushed it 4 feet. So
the idea is he gets a banana on a string from his belt,
ties it
going
to his
as
belt
a pendulum.
Yep. So he's standing up and using his hips back and forth to swing the banana. There's a video of it.
When does the clock start? When he starts tying or when he starts swinging?
The goal is 4 feet.
The goal was 4 feet. Yeah, there was tape on the floor. So it was a Mars bar, if that helps. But
who picked
helps.
This random distance?
I don't know who picked any of it. It was a full-size Mars bar, and it was timed. He was already prepared with the equipment, so it wasn't like he had to tie the banana up. So he was standing, arms akimbo.
Equipment.
The man came prepared to hit a candy bar with a banana. Okay. So he was already. They had tied all the knots were in place. Everything was locked down. Candy bar was on floor, and they said go, and he just started swinging the thing back and forth.
One more clarifying question.
Yeah.
Did he, as he moved the candy bar forward, take little steps forward to keep up with it, or did he just have to keep hitting it harder with the pendulum banana?
Swinging it 4 feet in front of him.
I had pictured in my head it was in one go. Like he swung it and then it long jump style flew through the air and landed 4 feet. And
if he was better at it probably could have happened, but no, he moved it along the floor.
He scooted it along the floor.
So he's tapping it.
Multiple taps.
Tapping it in.
That'll give you the key to it. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I understand.
So what was the time it took to get it 4 feet?
How ripe was the banana? We talking green, yellow, brown?
Standard yellow. It was fully unpeeled, raw ass banana.
Unpeeled?
No, it was. What did I say? Fully peeled. I meant. Sorry.
The
banana just smashing and getting all mushed on the ground.
What in the
world? All right. The main clarifying question. This is the main one. How the fuck did you find this?
I was looking up records of people, what they had done with bananas tied to their belts, and that was the number one return. Okay. No, I was looking up I wanted to try in some sort of Guinness record about eating candy bars or something like that, and that I found the site and I just started cracking up.
This was the number one search.
This was for sure. So how fast?
Okay, who has a guess?
Novak, I'll make you guess first.
4 feet seems kind of far. 47 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, optimistic.
I mean, it's a record. It's got to be. You got to say "wow" when you see the real number.
Yeah.
If you watch the video, you wouldn't really be saying "wow." You'd be saying "why." Okay, cool.
Was there a big crowd in the video?
No, it was like in his kitchen or something. I
Did
think.
he do this in the middle of Yankee Stadium?
How long did it take for him to get around the bases with the Mars bar? 61 days.
He's stealing second.
Chad, what do you think?
Oh boy. Okay, it's either like 5 seconds or like 2.5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Or it could be any other number, I guess. I mean,
No, one of those two.
One of those two.
Oh boy, I think I'm gonna go a little higher than Novak. I'm gonna go 2.5 minutes.
Okay. That sounds excruciating. All right, Leah.
I mean, I cannot wait to watch this video.
Yeah, same.
I will definitely link it out after we're done, yeah.
It just sounds so dumb.
That's also
Yeah, it
accurate.
does.
Yep.
Whoa, hold on, just a second.
You guys might
that's
have
a
thought
little
that it
harsh.
sounded smart. I think it sounds dumb, but also, I mean, I've been there. We've all been there, right? It was a long year and a half at home.
I haven't been there, to be honest, but I could be.
I'm gonna go a minute 45.
A minute 45. Okay, Novak, you win this one too. It was only 4.34 seconds.
I was so close when I said it's
4
either 5 seconds.
You cranked
or...
this thing out. Yeah, it was bam,
How many
bam,
times
bam.
did he hit it?
Huh?
Just a few times. Just needed to hit
I
it
think
a few
so,
times.
yeah. It skidded across the floor with
I
these
should've said
thunderous
5
banana
Forgot to tell
blasts.
us it was downhill on ice.
Mhm.
All right, to wrap up here real quickly,
All right,
we're
roll
heading
through
over
this
to,
BuzzFeed quiz.
over to BuzzFeed, and we are going to find out. Folks, last time we did this kind of quiz, we found out how we were going to die, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time, we are also going to find out how we would have died, but this time, it's in the Old West. All right?
Okay.
So,
Ooh.
how would you have died in the Old West? Here we go. So the first winner was Novak of the first question. So Novak, you have to choose.
The old western side of Vietnam.
What was the best part of living on the frontier? You have 6 choices. Lawless towns, great option. Discovering new territory,
Sure.
gambling, saloons, shooting guns, or the lack of crowds.
Lawless towns.
Lawless towns. That's what I would have
That's
taken.
great.
All right.
Yeah.
Chad, this is going to be you. So choose a
Yeah.
Western accessory. You got your old 6-shooter.
Yeah.
You've got a parasol, a dainty umbrella,
Sure.
a saddle, cowboy hat, need that, right? Cowboy boots, or a holster. What do you think?
For your bananas.
For all your bananas.
Yeah. What good is a holster without? I was gonna say what good is a holster without 6-shooter, but you got the bananas.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick Spurs, but you didn't even say Spurs.
Spurs not an option.
Uh,
I didn't make the quiz.
Fucking hell. All right, I'll take the holster then.
All right, holster it
those
is.
bananas.
Which one of these old west accessories? String, a banana, a candy bar.
Number 3, Leo, this is you. You have to choose, how would you get around in the Old West? Okay, by horse, by foot, by train, by mule, which is kind of cheating. That's sort of like a dumb horse. By wagon, or by horse and carriage.
Oh, horse and carriage.
Horse and carriage.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm a classy lady.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
got
Yeah.
style.
That's true. All right, Leah, you are up again.
Just biscuits flying out of the carriage window.
Yes.
So I need you to pick a
That sounds
popular
great.
Old West name. Okay. So we've got Abigail, Jeremiah, Butch, Doc, Lorraine, or Wyatt.
Doc.
Doc. That's a great one.
Doc
Okay.
Brown. Back
All
to the
right.
Future 3.
Novak, this is you, and this one is the only one that's not real conducive to this format of quiz. Which swinging doors would you walk through? And now let me list you the description of 6 different doors. We've got brown ones with slats,
Yeah.
Short brown ones, big scuffed up brown ones, scuffed out brown ones with a hole in them, dark brown ones, and red ones. That's the best way I can do it.
In honor of the Hershey Bear, I'll take the brown hole.
Brown hole. All right. Okay. Okay. Chad, this is you. I think I did these out of order because I mixed the questions up, but who cares? What would be your ideal death? All right. Surrounded by family, sudden and unexpected, hit with a banana 4 feet. Oh, wait, sorry. Going out laughing, surrounded by friends, a dramatic one, or quietly at home.
Dramatic one. The laughing one.
Laughing, for sure. Okay. And then Novak, take us home. Choose a drink to order at the saloon. Milk. Ugh. You know, saloon milk.
Yeah.
Soda,
Ugh.
whiskey, water, juice, or beer.
We've had all this peanut butter. I'm actually going to take the milk. I think that sounds good.
All right. Milk it is. All right, folks.
You're gonna die by saloon milk.
Spoiled saloon milk. All right. You folks, unfortunately, I regret to inform you that in the Old West, we would have died of consumption. We would have lived a life, a fun, colorful life, and been close to lots of people all the time. Unfortunately, where there's people, there's disease. A random gambler would have passed his nasty spit germs to you as you argued face to face over a shifty card hand. Like Doc Holliday before you, your end would have seen a lot of bloody cough rags. All right, back to our food podcast.
I feel like they wrote that quiz before COVID.
Probably, yeah. Or just based it on whatever name you picked.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's eat the Muddy Buddies.
Great.
Finish it off here. Muddy Buddies are going to need a decent score to beat the Skippy Bites, which got a like and 3 indifference. So it's definitely doable. And these Muddy Buddies, if you haven't seen them, they're a Chex Mix brand snack. It's crispy corn Chex pieces in a chocolatey peanut butter coating with a delightful, powdery smooth finish.
Now I gotta say, Muddy Buddies, like homemade Muddy Buddies, are a staple in our house. I make them. Actually, we make them every year for the Super Bowl. At least it's like a tradition, and then also just like at random times. And they're like absolutely one of my favorite things. But I didn't know they had them, in a store-bought bag. So these have very high standards to live up to.
Yep.
When you make it at home, do you call it puppy chow?
We do call it puppy chow,
okay.
Actually, yes. Yeah, I wonder if that's like a regional thing or I don't know.
I mean, you're going on like a lake house trip with some friends and somebody, either my wife or somebody else, makes a big bowl of it and I just eat it the entire weekend. I love this stuff.
All right. I'm going to go first to create some drama. These, I haven't had puppy chow in a while. I feel like these are a bit harder than I prefer the puppy chow to be. Just a little bit. I don't like that crunch necessarily on these. I do like the homemade one a bit better. I'm just not a huge fan of Chex in general. There's very few Chex snacks I would like. No Chex cereal I don't like. Chex Mix, none of it. This, because they added the chocolate and peanut butter to it, is fine. But I'm still just going to give it an indifferent to dat. This is not something I would seek out. And it's my least favorite of the snacks today.
Wow.
Yes.
Whoa.
So I think it did feel like a favorite coming in, but that's going to at least put some question into it. Leah, why don't you go next?
So I had puppy chow for the first time freshman year of college. I went to school downstate, and my roommate brought it in early freshman year. She brought in puppy chow, and again, loved it. I have never made it from home. It seems I don't think it's as hard to make as I think it is, but I have the one time I tried to make Chex Mix on my own, I destroyed it. So I don't trust myself to make it. So I am very happy with this, but I think it is, I like the crunchiness. I like how well the Chex holds up, but I would want to mix this with a bag of plain Chex. It's too much.
Interesting.
I
Like
think
too
it
sweet
needs
and stuff, or just too overwhelming flavor.
it needs a salty mix to it. Like I would want to mix this with. It doesn't need a salty mix. It's just too rich.
I see.
On its own. So, but I think if I just like poured some regular Chex in here and mix it all together, I think I'd be really happy with that. I did have very high expectations, and I think it still wins. But I think it's still just still just a strong 4.
I like that for you.
All right. So an indifferent, alike, there's a little drama here. Geiger, what do you think?
I think what you both are maybe verbalizing in a different way is like the peanut butter is different with these than it would be in homemade puppy and chow. Like at least the way I've eaten it, the peanut butter to me gives it more of a salty taste, and it's softer. It like softens it up. I mean, I don't think it's fair necessarily to expect this snack to taste exactly homemade because it's got to sit on a shelf for like in a truck and a shelf and all that. So it's not going to be like fresh out the oven, and it's going to stale up a little bit. I do agree with Leah in that it is just overly sweet, and I miss that peanut butter flavor. All I really taste is powdered sugar and like really powdered sugar and a hint of maybe some chocolate underneath there. I don't taste what you normally get with Puppy Chow, or Muddy Buddies, I guess, what we're calling them. So I'm torn. I still think it's a like that. They're still good. They're still tasty. I would still like eating it. I just don't think it's as good. Obviously, it's not as good as homemade, but none of these snacks that we eat are going to be as good as the homemade version of like their inspiration, right? I think that's the whole point. So it's hard for me to knock it too much.
Your homemade granola bars are much better than the Quaker.
Right, right. When I make PB bites with pretzels in the middle at home, they're way better than this.
All right, so
like that. Yeah.
Chad, if you even give it a indifferent, it's going to win the episode. What do you think?
Yeah.
Can I sway you by saying these two together, the Skippy Peanut Butter Bites? Put a Skippy Peanut Butter Bite in your mouth with a couple Muddy Buddies, and tell me if it does not. Those together are a love it.
But let me sway you by saying, put the granola bar in your mouth with a Popeye's biscuit.
Now, hold on. Let me come over the top. What if we don't eat any of this? Eat a piece of deep dish pizza and then rate the Muddy Buddies. What do you think?
Well, let me sway a banana from my belt. It's really interesting to me to hear you guys say that you think this is overwhelmingly sweet. I have a feeling that you would hate my homemade Muddy Buddies because I do not think this is nearly sweet enough. For Muddy Buddies, this tastes very bland to me. When we eat Puppy Chow, we have powdered sugar all over our fingers. But we also add vanilla extract. We add like tons of butter, right? And I think that just adds like a depth of flavor and stuff that this just like concoction of chemicals that they need to put on this to keep it shelf stable doesn't really provide. It doesn't taste as fresh. It suffers from that same thing that like packaged Rice Krispie treats and stuff suffer from, where they just don't have that same freshness, flavor, and it kind of ruins it a little bit for me. It was actually better when I combined it with the PB bite, weirdly, but they're just a little disappointing to me. They're not bad still. I'll probably still finish the bag. So I am going to still give them an indifferent to that, which is enough for the win here.
All right. It was a close one, but the Muddy Buddies take home the win for the peanut butter episode. Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
If you have even more elaborate purse snacks than Leah, if you have a much more elaborate or bigger purse, or one that has like a heating compartment and a cooling department and like a sauce tray and maybe like a Lazy Susan in there or whatever else you can fit.
Nuclear reactor.
Right. If you can swing a banana from your belt and hit like a golf ball and get a hole in one or some crazy record setting type thing like that. If you're a Schroeder fan, call us and just explain. I just want to know why you think Schroeder was number one.
Call us. We have a number now.
Yeah, we have a number. Here's Novak's phone
Here's
number.
my cell.
You can get in touch with us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We are on Facebook. We have a You Tried Dat group there. We're on Twitter. We have a hashtag there. It's called You Tried Dat after hashtag. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. And I'm really good at the marketing too, aren't I, Leah? Let us know what you think. Suggest snacks for the pod. Let us know what you think of our ratings. Give it your own rating. Ask us a question for the mailbag. And as always, tell your friends and family. Leave a review. Give us some stars. And as always, thanks for listening.
All right, Leah, it's a chance for you to plug where can people find Finding Favorites, and when's your new one coming out?
Finding Favorites is on all the fine podcast apps. Finding Favorites with Leah Jones on Instagram and Twitter. It's Finding Faves Pod. I am Chicago Leah on most things. Candy Chat launched it last week. I'm working on getting it submitted. But Candy Chat, yeah. I mean,
probably
it's so
this
new.
doesn't come out for like a month, so by the time this comes out, it'll probably be like
on all the things. Yeah. So Candy Chat podcast, you can find us on Twitter, Candy Chat Shy, Candy Chat Chicago on TikTok. Yeah, we're trying TikTok. I don't know. I spend a lot of quality time on TikTok. Now I'm just rambling.
Yeah.
So I'll stop.
But I was going to say people should check out. You've had a couple guests that we've also had on Finding Favorites.
Yes.
So if people are looking to jump in, check out Robert Persinger's episode was really interesting. And you also had Kyle Loader, who we had on a month or two ago.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really fun having you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
really
you. This was a blast.
All right. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.